But you can't answer that. You can't answer that, can you, sir? You can't answer that. Why?
Republican Senator Ted Cruz ran from a British reporter after Cruz did not know how to answer a question about the recent massacre in Uvalde, Texas. So this is going to be reporter Mark Stone of Sky News. And later on, I'm going to show you a parent of a victim of Parkland and their experience with Ted Cruz. And then also I'll get to Ted Cruz's insane excuse for why this happened and what he thinks needs to be done. But first, here is Ted Cruz being a coward.
There are 19 sets of parents who are never going to get to kiss their child goodnight again.
Is this the moment to reform gun laws?
You know, it's easy to go to politics.
But it's important. It's at the heart of the issue.
I get that that's where the media likes to go.
No, it's not. It's where many of the people we've talked to here like to go.
The proposals from Democrats in the media, inevitably, when some violent psychopath murders people.
A violent psychopath who's able to get a weapon so easily. 18-year-old with 2 AR-15s.
If you want to stop violent crime, the proposals the Democrats have, none of them would have stopped this.
But why does this only happen in your country? I really think that's what many people around the world they cannot fathom. Why only in America? Why is this American exceptionalism so awful?
You know, I'm sorry you think American exceptionalism is awful.
I think this aspect of it.
You got your political agenda.
No, it's honestly,
God love you.
Senator, it's not. I just want to understand why you do not think that guns are the problem.
Why is this just an American problem?
Well, it is just an American problem, sir.
Mr. Cruz, why is America the only country that faces this kind of mass shooting?
But you can't answer that. You can't answer that, can you, sir? You can't answer that. Why is this country?
Why is it that people come from all over the world to America? Because it's the freest, most prosperous, safest country on earth.
It may be the freest. It may be the most.
Why are our kids dying in school?
Amazing. Amazing. The safest country on earth, he says. Yeah, maybe if you're a senator who can pay for a security detail to whisk you away when you get a hard question. But for the vast majority of people, I don't think it's the safest country on earth. Now, I'm going to get to, as I said, a clip of someone's experience dealing with Ted Cruz, a Parkland parent that was a parent of a victim, and then Ted Cruz's insane reasoning for why this happened. But first, just a couple comments on what he said there. So his initial response to this question is it's easy to go to politics. I mean, you see him start with his performance about, oh, he feels so bad for the families. And then when he's asked an actual question, oh, it's easy to go to politics, you know. What are you talking about? That's what this issue is. So if you're fighting for the status quo or fighting for less gun regulation, then you are also doing politics. Any position you take on this issue is politics. Just because you don't want to improve things doesn't mean that you aren't also being political. This issue is political. There is a reason why this happens a lot more in the US compared to other countries. It's not because of randomness, not because of chance, it's because of the laws that exist. This issue is inherently political. So you being against any change at all is also a political position. Now, before I get to this comparison, or some comparisons here to other countries, I want to first, also worth mentioning, this clip is going viral now. This is getting a lot of views, and it's just reporting. Like, it really shows you how awful American mainstream press is when it takes somebody from the UK to ask a question that is just normal, just a normal good question, but they aren't used to this, so they run away. I mean, that's how bad the media is when they're actually asked a real question, they have no idea how to answer it because they aren't used to it. So this should not be going viral. This should be normal, but unfortunately, this kind of reporting is not normal. But I got to show you this. So Trump, Ted Cruz, Greg Abbott still are set to speak at the NRA meeting in Houston, just days after this mass tragedy. And they realize how dangerous weapons are. Guns are banned during Trump's upcoming speech at the NRA conference. Now, this is because Secret Service is banning it. They understand, how dangerous weapons are. But still, it shows you this amazing disconnect when here they are, this conference to celebrate guns and do whatever they can to take away any regulations, any protections at all for people. Yet at their own conference, guns have to be banned during Trump's speech because of how dangerous they are. Now, in terms of comparisons here, so I have a few graphs, a few charts to show. Top 10 civilian gun-owning countries, estimated number of firearms per 100 residents. So you see here, of course, way more guns per 100 people compared to other countries, not even close. This data here from CNN, you can see, again, the U.S., how it compares to other countries, not even close. And to be clear, I used this stat in my first video on this story as well, but it was mislabeled at the time when I used it, so it appeared to be a different time frame. This time frame is what it actually is, so this is from 2009 to 2018, so you can actually add a lot more to this list if you include, the past few years as well. Now, also this, how Americans feel about U.S. gun laws. So you can see over time, the majority of people want to see gun laws that are more strict compared to kept as now or less strict. Now, let me get to this parent of a Parkland victim. So after what happened in Parkland, this parent talked to Ted Cruz, and here's his experience with the senator.
You mentioned Ted Cruz honestly making of himself. I'm sorry. He put out a tweet saying how sorry he is, how he sends his thoughts. I sat with him in his office 3 years ago, and I begged that in person. I begged him. And no, he won't change because he is evil. But I begged him to do something different, to be different. And he went forward from that over the next few years, and he mocked the idea of doing anything to reduce gun violence. This is on Ted Cruz.
Anyone that has covered or has followed Ted Cruz, this should not be surprising at all. Ted Cruz carries himself as a sociopath. He's a actor. I mean, you can tell he's not a good actor because you can tell he's acting, but he puts on these performances. He's very grandiose. He's just a completely disgusting person. It doesn't matter who he talks to. It doesn't matter what information he may learn. This is stuff he already knows, and he knows his role. His role is to be a tool for wealthy interests that have no attachment to the lives of the working class. He does not care at all what happens to anybody. All he cares about is his own career. Now, let me get to the last clip here. This is Ted Cruz on Fox News after this massacre, discussing what he thinks the problem is and what inherently the solution for him is.
And one of the things that everyone agreed is don't have all of these unlocked back doors. Have one door into and out of the school, and have that one door armed police officers at that door. If that had happened, if those federal grants had gone to this school, when that psychopath arrived, the armed police officers could have taken him out, and we'd have 19 children and 2 teachers still alive.
Of course, that's the problem. Too many doors. Not too many guns, too many doors. Not the fact that an 18-year-old can buy 2 rifles on his birthday and 375 rounds of ammunition. No, not the problem. The problem is too many doors. You have one door so that when there's a fire at the school, everybody has to get out the one door before they die. Have you thought this through? He said one door in and out. Even in his example here, this makes no sense because the shooter was confronted by law enforcement before entering the school. So, one door, 10 doors, what the hell is the difference? He was confronted and was still able to get inside. And by the way, there's more to this story. So I will likely do a different video on this aspect of it, as right now there is a lot of reporting coming out saying that parents, and video by the way, that parents were outside screaming, crying, yelling at police to go inside and do something for 40 minutes as they sat there and waited because they were too afraid to go inside and confront the shooter. They were waiting for the tactical squad to go in there. Apparently 40% of the city's budget goes to policing. Can you imagine firefighters showing up to a burning school and, We can't risk our lives. Gotta wait. Gotta wait. Wait this one out. Gotta wait for the special firefighters to arrive and go in there. This is your fucking job. If you can't do it, don't do the job. So I'll have more on this because this is insane what happened there. And there's video and it's just completely ridiculous. But so is Ted Cruz. A total sociopath. Someone who's just completely disconnected from empathy, from the ability to connect with anybody else but his own money and his own career.